because so much has happened, I wanted to make a YouTube video to talk about the two latest things and to give a little bit of not context, because I think we're all clear on the context, but to add some stuff to it. Yesterday, the judge, Rachel Krause, who was assigned to oversee the recusal for Judge Glanville, that judge, Rachel Krause, recused him, said that she didn't say that the ex parte was improper. She did not say that. What she said is what Glanville did when he was telling everyone that he was going to recuse himself. She said that is what was improper, which was really, really interesting. So this is the first one that came out yesterday. And obviously that RK, I don't know how she got logos at the top, but if that's for Rachel Krause, shout out to her and her little logo at the top. It is worth noting that this court agrees generally with Judge Glanville's assessment of the propriety of the ex parte meeting, meaning that it wasn't improper. While the meeting could have and perhaps should have taken place in open court, nothing about the fact of the meeting or the substance discussed was inherently improper. However, in his order denying Kendrick's motion and in the process of making his record on July 1st, 2024, Glanville added facts, provided context, questioned the veracity of the allegations, and otherwise explained his decisions and actions and argued why those actions were improper. And she goes on to say that that is the reason, his explanation and giving all that extra is the reason why he was recused.
As to Mr. Steele's first assertion of whether or not the court held an improper ex parte meeting or hearing, the court is guided by Judicial Code of Conduct 2.9, which I'll take judicial notice of, which in pertinent part, where circumstances require ex parte communications are authorized for scheduling, administrative purposes, or emergencies.
You hear him trying to explain why he was okay, why what he did is correct. This is where he messed up, because that is not supposed to be a part of his ruling. He is only supposed to decide if what you said is true, then that's enough for me to be recused. He is instead now trying to explain why he is not wrong.
If involves in pertinent part, if a judge inadvertently receives unauthorized ex parte communication bearing upon the substance of the matter, the judge shall make provision promptly to notify all parties of the substance of the communication, provide the parties with a reasonable opportunity to respond. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to release the entirety of the transcript to you all to use as you see fit and before any other further examination of Mr. Copeland. In this particular circumstance, the transcript of these proceedings was just prepared and is final by my official court reporter, Ms. Weaver. And all counsel will be, as I said, given an opportunity to, as soon as the court finishes entering this order, it will be e-filed, so everyone will have a chance to take a look at it.
Okay, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I just wanted to give like a little bit of an example as to where he messed up according to Judge Krause. So now that we have that, Glanville gets recused yesterday. Shukura Ingram, right, the new judge, gets assigned. And then this morning, she recuses herself from the case as well. And her reason is, so this is from Shukura Ingram. And she says that Christian Eppinger, so he was one of the co-defendants, he got severed from this case, and we'll talk about why. But according to her, although there is no severance order in the record, the court was apprised of the circumstances that directly led to Eppinger's severance. More specifically, the deputy assigned to and responsible for the courtroom and personal security of the undersigned, meaning the judge, for nearly 6 months. So she was the deputy. This deputy was Ingram's deputy for 6 months. She was arrested. The deputy, who was still assigned to this court at the time of her arrest, is accused of colluding with defendant Eppinger, meaning Christian Eppinger, the co-defendant, during the current trial to commit a felony, and 2, endangering the safety of citizens within Fulton County Courthouse. Because the court's former assigned deputy could be called as a witness in any future proceedings. And the court, the judge herself, may be called upon to assess this deputy's credibility or rule on matters related to her criminal prosecution. This may undermine the public's confidence in the impartiality of the proceedings. So she's saying, because I may be called and because my deputy may be called, that's enough for me to say, not me, tag, I'm not it. So she is saying she can't be because she could be called, and it has to do with this deputy and Eppinger. Now, because I've been watching this trial for a very long time, I remember when this happened. And the AJC wrote an article that we can quickly go over. So that is Eppinger. And this is Eppinger about this deputy. He bought her a birthday card. She rubbed his back and said, "Look at me, baby," when she felt he needed comforting. They exchanged messages and smiled at each other when they thought nobody else was watching. They're both involved, obviously, in YSL. He has a defendant, she has a deputy, and now they're both in Fulton County Jail. A warrant was issued for the search and seizure of Epinger's attorney, because what was happening is he had been logging on to the attorney's computer, talking to people on Instagram and also communicating with this deputy. And so it says Stanley is the deputy Akeiba Stanley, fostered an inappropriate relationship with Christian Eppinger by visiting his cell and allegedly conspiring with one of his relatives to deliver prohibited items, the sheriff's office said in a statement. The warrant notes a series of instances indicating a relationship between him and the deputy. Eppinger had been using his attorney's laptop to message people via Instagram. In May, the other deputies realized, they deduced that one of their colleagues was apparently among the person that he had been talking to. According to the warrant, an investigator with the sheriff's office saw Eppinger type a message, smile, and look at the deputy, who then typed something on her Apple Watch before smiling back at Eppinger. This happened several times, according to the warrant. An investigation later confirmed that Eppinger was messaging with the deputy, the warrant said, by connecting their social media accounts back to them. So they went through, obviously, the process of going through the social media accounts and realizing that she is who this man was messaging. So other instances demonstrated an inappropriate relationship. The warrant said Eppinger brought Stanley a birthday card from the jail commissary the next month after a scuffle between a different officer and Eppinger. Stanley, the deputy, allegedly stood by and did not assist in detaining Eppinger while other deputies did. Instead, she rubbed his back and said, "Look at me, baby." According to the warrant, Eppinger's lawyer is accused of being a co-conspirator and allowing his client to message people using his laptop. Glanville severed the case due to the conflict of interest and potential security concerns. So that is what happened. He got severed because of this incident, and it had to do with this particular deputy of this particular judge. But all of that said, we now have a different judge already. That quick, we have a different judge. So Paige Reese Whitaker is the new judge, and I'll show you what she looks like. This is her. Apparently she was an appeals judge before, I believe is what Thugger Daily, I think, said. I guess he has some kind of source that he was asking about the judge, like, how is she? Apparently she has the lowest caseload in the courthouse. So she has a low caseload, which is important because if this is going to take forever, and I know the other judge, Ingram, did not have a low caseload. So they're saying she has a low caseload, so she may be able to take this case. Apparently, she's efficient. Okay, she's fair. Obviously, being an appeals judge too, you know the kind of cases that you're looking at. A lot of your time is spent looking at court cases that lower court judges have ruled on, and so you're evaluating if things were done properly or not. So that could indicate someone who is maybe more fair. Could also not, because I'm not a lawyer or a judge, but that is the situation as of now. It is. Right now, she is the one that's assigned. I do believe that the other Judge Ingram who wants to take this? This is chaos. Who would want to take this case? It's insane. That's where we are. We have this judge now assigned, and we'll see if this judge stays on or if this judge does not stay on. And what will be the first action, when we'll get a hearing, when we'll get some more motions filed. It's going to be crazy.